What's up, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, let's change it up. Let's change it up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Bam. Let's go. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host, A.D. Walker, the pusher, the grower, the motivator. Appreciate you guys for being here another day on the Brothers of Legacy broadcast. So this week we are celebrating our 500th episode. I know. Yeah. All right. So all this week we'll be having some different guests on, except today. Monday's a rough time for a lot of people. So we appreciate you guys for rocking with us all 500 episodes. So we are like a little over. So just be clear. It looks like all over. We are. But I picked this week, because it's a great week. It's the closest in the middle of it. Congratulations. Thank you, Lisa. As always, blessings and shared. Mama Corey, thank you. Greetings. Hey. So make sure you are sharing, letting everybody know that the brothers are on. Take the text community, text LWN to 84576. If you're not a part, if you're watching this on replay, stay connected. We got some great things going on. Make sure you are tagging someone. It's very important. Very important. Oh, thank you, sweetie Bap. Thank you, Sam. The amazing wife she has been by my side, ups, downs, in betweens, the don't want to moments, and she's always has my back, and pushing me. So yeah, definitely, I'm excited. We have some great things coming down the pike. We are working on some more virtual or some more in-person. That's the word I keep searching for, in-person things, to start doing more in-person, either broadcast one and having the space to do our daily broadcast together in one space. So I'm excited about that. So listen, I need you to stay connected, because a year from now, Brothers of Legacy is going to look totally different. I need you to stay connected, because a year from now, Brothers of Legacy is going to be looking totally different in a good way. And then we're taking Brothers of Legacy to another level. Just been working on some things behind the scenes. Today, yes. So what I need you to do is share. Let everybody know that the brothers are on. If you see anybody personally, in person, like, hey, what you doing at 9 a.m.? 9 a.m. every single morning between Monday and Friday. Nothing? Wonderful. Come check us out. So we are going to do some amazing things going forward. Let me just keep it 100. So I tell you guys to text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Yes, Mama Corey. I see your shares. But I need you to do something, Mama Corey. You're going to know what I'm saying. I need you to share to everybody. I need you to break that wall and share to everybody. She knows what I'm talking about. Listen, Mama Corey is amazing. But she told me some of her sharing restrictions. So I need you to share to everybody. Just go ahead and share it to them. I know. Trust, I need them in here too. All right, just do that. Do me that favor. Do this one, at least this one, and we see how it goes. So we are LWN, Legacy Walker Network, right? And that encompasses the Brothers of Legacy, Purpose for Forever, as well as Sisters of Legacy, which is why I want you guys to be a part of that, so you know what we're doing and the things that we're connecting. All right, she said, I know. Okay, promise. All right, hold you to that. You promised me. And it's all about, a full gamut of healthy relational living, full, because we always focus on the finance, and each part of it, there's a financial aspect, but what we miss out on, where a lot of success lies, is in the connections and collaborations of different people. So there's those that they're brothers that are either they'll be married, they're single, they're part of this to help us build. Those that are married can be a part of Purpose for Forever. And no matter what state of your marriage is in, or your relationship is in, it's a great place to connect, to kind of see couples that are pushing towards being better together. We don't have it perfect. It's just, trust me, we have our days. There's the ups, the downs, the in-betweens. But the key is we're pushing toward better as far as relationships and couples, as well as Sister Legacy for the ladies that are watching. I just need a space to have those other conversations that we don't have, because we're brothers. We may not talk deep into certain spaces. So I want you guys, that's one of the reasons I want you guys to be a part of the Legacy Walker Network. And and not only brothers is going to be different, a lot of what we have is going to be totally different by next year. We have, like I said, a lot of things coming down the pipe. We're working on some things, planning. And I'm going to keep it real. Like, my planning nature is hard. Like, I'm one like, oh, snap, we got something. Let's go. Let's throw it up there. I'm ready. But it's just taking things in stages so we can build a solid foundation so what we build can last. All right. It's about legacy. All right. So now that I've said that, we're going to go ahead and get ready to kick it off. Today, we are discussing, is ego destroying our community? I know that's always, ego preventing collaboration. Is ego stopping us from being greater, being better, coming together, right? Being able to kind of slice and dice on some of your agenda in order to work with someone else. Like, lay aside, like, I have all this I do, but then someone can do certain parts of it better. Are you willing to lay aside some of those things in order for someone else to kind of step into the space that you're trying to get to? Because it's not really yours. It becomes ours, and we're pushed forward, and I'm gonna talk about kind of like a lot of where the inspiration for some of this has come from. Went to a great men's conference on Saturdays, like a men's boys kind of conference. I didn't really announce it because it was like last minute. in essence, I found out at like Thursday-ish, Friday, and I was like, this would be great. So my brothers, they're gonna be upset, like, yeah, you say nothing, like, but it kind of was last minute. I was like, let me see, let me make sure I can go, because I had stuff going on Saturday. So ripping and running. Shout out to my wife for putting up with me and the ripping and running, because it takes a lot. ET talked about that this morning. Yeah. So I appreciate you guys for rocking and hanging with us. Like, again, make sure you share. So we're talking about ego. We're talking about collaboration. And the overarching conversation. You always hear in our community how Black people don't support, Black people don't come together. And I gotta say, it can happen, but I'm gonna keep it real. And maybe I've my circle has grown, but I'm coming into a lot of collaborative spaces where people are really genuinely coming together. All right, so we're gonna go ahead kick it off. What's up, Keita? Good morning. I got Pastor hanging in the wing. We're gonna go ahead, bring him on, and have this conversation. I think I sent my email out. Hopefully, I actually did it. All right. You think you hit sent and you didn't really hit sent. All right. Let's see. Spliggity splow. All right. Let's go ahead and do this, and we'll be right back in like 10 seconds. So listen, make sure you share. Make sure you share. Take, copy, paste all over social media. Make sure you share. All right, let's go.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Monday.
Good day, BOL family.
Yes, indeed. It's
happy
just
beginning of the week for those of you that count Monday as the beginning of the week.
Right. right. Yeah. Kind of, sort of. Oh, mine's just, I feel like sometimes a continuation. It's just on and on. It's just on and on. You're like, what's today? Uh-oh, what does that say? It's that time. If you're doing mail-in voting, I think maybe for everybody, I know I heard it in Georgia. This is the time, first day of mail-in voting. If you want, you got to, submit, and then they'll send you the ballot. So you got to submit, send you the ballot. But personally, if you can make it to the polls and you are here in this great state, great United States of America, because for the most part, mailing vote out, you're going to be overseas or something. For most of us, we're going to be here. I would say go to the polls. Go to the polls. Go. Yeah, I recommend it. I'm not conspiratorial where I say things happen in the mail, but don't chance it. Don't chance it. Just go to the poll where you're at least clicking who you want, clicking what it is, submit the thing in the little machine, and you're like, got it, get your sticker and bounce. So at least happened, So go to the polls. Go to the polls. COVID is still out there. Just wear your mask. Keep your 6 feet. I know some a little more still in the 2020 space. Like I'm still kind of nervous about this thing. I'm with you. Keep your space, but go. And it's not always for most part. Since I've been voting, I've never had to wait in a long line. They show long lines, but I've never had to wait in a long line. Now, I don't know if I can't speak for everybody. Have you guys had to wait in a long line when voting? I've never had to wait in a long line.
Yes.
It's always been like a line, but not that line. You're just like, all right, Jesus, this is for the United States. I gotta, I'm doing this for my country. I've never had to contemplate that. There've been moments like me and my wife see a little line, like, we'll come back. But I've never had that excruciating round the block long line. So Pastor, you said you have.
I have.
Okay,
yes.
Keita said yes. Okay.
On many occasions.
Okay.
But I stand there.
Right.
And I wait. And I vote.
So let me ask you this, because you lived a lot of places. Were they predominantly Black, or was it a mixed area? Because most of my areas that I've lived in as an adult has been mixed.
Same here.
Okay.
Yeah, diverse. I've always lived in diverse neighborhoods.
Diverse, that's the word. Diverse. So, okay.
Yeah.
Had to wait, and then she said I've had to wait, and in the Florida heat. Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
He said, "Hello, any snakes lurking in the? There's snakes everywhere. There's snakes everywhere." Richard,
I couldn't answer that. But why would you assume that I'm a Democrat?
Right. That's good. All right. So today we're talking about is ego. Everyone's like,
or maybe that wasn't your assumption. Maybe.
Right. Is ego destroying our community? So I was listening to Kevin Hart. He's doing he said, Republican snakes. Richard,
politicians.
There's snakes everywhere. There's always somebody with ill will.
Everywhere.
Is ill will, or like sometimes, and we're gonna get into it. Sometimes I think some politicians go in like, I'm gonna change. They see something, I'm gonna make a difference and do such and such, and then you get in a reality check of, not even reality. They just get beat down. Well, you can't do that. You need to do this. These are the hands you need to shake if you want to make it. This is who you need to be in bed with. And then somebody, an oil company come in with a stack of money, and it changes the game. It changes, like, you can feed your family for generations if you do, remember, like they'll mention other people, like, you remember this, remember them, they just remember generations. Like this is where it comes from, and then it just changes your mindset. Now you're not really concerned with people; you're just concerned with your network of folks. So I believe. Oh, look at that! They just flooded in. I got Dana Dane and Mr. Reparations in the building, right on time. All right,
Yep. Just in time to talk about ego.
right, right.
Okay, it's too early on a Monday morning. My bad.
All right. What's up, Ephraim in the building?
Hey, how you doing, man?
What's going on?
What's up, Kaneem?
What up,
Morning,
gentlemen?
Kaneem.
What's up, man?
And so, hold on. Let me get rid of my banner so y'all can see. Today's name is Dana Dane.
Dana Dane.
Dana Dane.
Yeah.
You will be one of my special friends if you know who Dana Dane is. I can't say I cut you if you don't know, because like I said, he's like who do you talk? Coogee Rap. He's from an era that
Yeah.
you might have heard the song. You may have heard the song. You're like, oh, okay, that's it. I heard that song before, but I don't know. Dana Dane songs, they come on. You're probably like, oh, okay.
I haven't heard Dana Dane probably since the 80s.
Cinderfell, Dana Dane. Cinderfell, Dana Dane. All right. Take it back. And was it Nightmare on My Street? Was it My Street?
That's it.
Yeah.
Taking it back. All right.
So the topic today, the topic or the question of the day is ego destroying our community. And we said, speaking of egos, let's bring in Ephraim and Kaneem.
Right.
Disrespect.
Hey, they started the week off disrespectful. Don't they?
Yeah, they only even play.
That's how we do.
Ain't 20 minutes into the show already. Straight disrespect.
Week off.
That's AD Walker for you right there.
So again, we're talking about ego, and so like I was watching watching Kevin Hart on a podcast called Pivot. Shout out to Pivot. That I definitely give them props because they have a great broadcast. They don't just dig into the celebrity of celebrityness, but they dig into their personal lives and they have deep conversation and they stay certain spaces. Well, as how did you feel? What was the going through, and people really share a lot. So it's a great podcast. I had Kevin Hart on there, and he begins this. He was saying how he's not ego driven, right? He's all about trying to collaborate with other celebrities and things of that nature. Like he says, I'm working on something. The Rock would come by and hey, what you working on? He said, I got this. He said he threw out some ideas. He said, well, you want to be a co-producer or how you want to get in on this? He said, well, we'll work it out. And that's the thing. He said, I got with Chris Rock and we was talking. He's like, hey, let's see if we get Chappelle on this. Chappelle's like, yeah, like we're gonna, and he was like, we're gonna split it. How we gonna? He's like, we'll work it out. Let's just do it. And I say that, and honestly, just the side note, and most people keep like, nah, Kevin. I was like, I give Kevin Hart like the pre-GOAT status for not only like really pretty good at comedy, but the bringing together. Like I gotta admit, I've not, at least in the forefront. Like people do things behind the scenes, but I've not seen someone that kind of seems like they have genuine relationships with a lot of different people. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nick
Cannon, right? But and him and Nick Cannon, remember they were going back and forth with the birthday pranks. If y'all seen that, when Kevin Hart put Nick Cannon's phone number on a billboard.
Yeah.
On various parts of the cities. Yeah, that was hilarious because I think Nick Cannon sent him a llama, and he just went high. He's like, you okay? Let me top that. What's up, Jeff? Good morning.
Morning, Jeff.
So I think about, and also real quick shout out to some great organizations, the Brothers United of Atlanta and the Dream House Association. They hosted a conference on Saturday, and they came together. And the amazing part is, and I don't know if Dr. Rollins on here, and Pastor, you'll understand this. The conference was free. They fed us Chick-fil-A in the morning. And then they had like pizza for lunch. Hold on. It's quite a few of us. Then they gave away cups, mugs, t-shirts. My kids got these dope sweatshirts. I'm gonna take a picture. These dope free.
Okay.
I was like, what kind of dough they got? like everyone's just getting. I'm looking around like they had vendor tables. Of course, they charged the vendors for the tables.
Right.
But it was just like they were just the collaboration with the different departments. They had the police department, Atlanta Police Department there. They had department. Yeah, don't forget, it was for the kids. It was definitely. It was all for the children, but it was free. Like that just blew my mind. Just to collaborate. So everyone, they had sponsors, and it was an amazing event. But it was free, and it gave away so much, and it blew my mind that they just came together. And I didn't see, and I saw like the heads of the organizations there, like 100 Black men were involved as well. But there was no, hey, I'm the host, I'm grand. I felt no grandstanding coming. When it came to people came up, hey, I'm here, and I literally had to find out who was who. Like who was over what organization. Like it wasn't like, oh yeah, the only person I knew. And this is a Georgia thing. The super lawyer was there, Reginald Green.
Oh, yeah.
he was on the panel. Everybody like, oh, if you're in Georgia, you know who that is. I don't think he's outside of Georgia.
No, he's not.
But he's one of those personal injury lawyers, that you hear on the radio a lot, a lot. But then anyway, it was a great collaboration. I was like, oh man, this, can we come together to build greater? And always the answer is yes. Of course we can. Of course we can. But when it comes to you creating, right? When it comes to you building something from your head to, kind of building your own, can you share in your agenda enough, to kind of lay aside, what you've built in order to help for the greater good, right? And while you marinating on that, I'm gonna throw Sam's question out there because my wife, she asked me, she said, why don't you ask the guys this? And I was like, oh, that was good. So let's say, right, you have somebody that right? Let's just say it's me, right? And like for 100%, 99.9, that I said something about you, right? I've been talking bad about you to other people or other spaces that 100%, because you got a witness that wouldn't, that's not about mess. That told you like, yo, Corey, Ant been saying some crazy, reckless stuff, right? And this is before now. This is before you know me. And then I come around and I say, hey, Pastor, I got this great project, and we could work together to do such and such. It'll be great. And let's remove church out of it. Right. It said there you go. They already have a history of good relationship with you. Like me and you, like, let's just say now. Let's say now, like me, our relationship now. But you're getting word. And it's kind of like, not only heard it once, but you heard it twice. Like you confirmed, like, this Negro's talking about me. You're going through those emotions like, I thought we were cool. Like, you talking junk about me? Like, you're in the mirror like this. Want to tag him up right now. He said, no, I said, right. No, I said, not you because not you. Oh, not you because of the past. Okay, so take that out. Let's change that. All right, so he's throwing me off, Sam. He's throwing me off. All right, so they already have a history. So not you because of the history. So no past relationship, but just me. So somebody strange, John Garner. Sorry, John. Talking about you, and he comes to you and he wants to collaborate. Non-church, just like, hey, I know you're great at the infrastructure stuff. I need you we come to a class. Just something that's outside of ministry, non-ministry related, because we can always kind of find our way like to get back there, but non-ministry related. Just, hey, I want you to come because you're inspirational, speak to my people, or something like just coming together. But I've actively talked about you. 100% no. And that's to you, Pastor. That's to you, Ephraim. That's to you, Kaneem. Like, Kaneem, I know you got that house stuff, but I've been talking junk about you. I've been scandalized your name. So, how would you guys approach it? I'm gonna shoot it off to Pastor first, and then we can work our way around.
So I know someone, we've had a previous solid relationship or decent relationship.
Yeah.
And I get wind that this person has been talking about me
Right.
in a negative way.
Right. Right.
And it would be offensive, not just saying, oh, Pastor always.
Like
offensive. Because sometimes people talk about you and they feel like they're in the inner circle. Right. Like I'm not saying anything behind your back that I couldn't say to your face.
So no previous relationship, no previous.
Oh, no previous relationship. So so you and I have no relationship, but I found now you want to collaborate with me, but I've heard that you've been talking about me, but we don't have a relationship.
Zero.
Yeah. So let me just keep it real. Like for me, I work really hard. Like I've learned to not entertain what I've heard said about me.
Okay.
Because I've learned not everybody's going to like me and not everybody's going to understand me.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So your definition or your perception of me can be misconstrued.
Right.
If you don't have if we don't have a past relationship, then your perception is misconstrued.
Okay.
So now I have an opportunity to make you a liar.
Wow. Okay.
Right. Okay. So I have to ask myself a couple of questions. Does the project appeal to me?
Okay.
Is it beneficial? Do I see value in the project? And if I see value in the project, I'm gonna separate how I feel about you. But here's the thing. I'm also gonna keep it real, right? Are you sure you want to work with me? It's my understanding that maybe we don't see eye to eye on a couple of things.
What you mean?
Right?
Like what you talk about? Right.
No, it's a slippery slope because I don't like the hearsay stuff. That's too dramatic for me. I don't like that kind of stuff. So it just really depends on the scenario. But I'm not afraid to ask somebody if they have communicated negatively about me, because I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I want to make sure you know who you're working with, and I want to know who I'm working with. So it's important that we start off with a clean slate,
right?
Especially if we don't have any relationship, right? Because my thing is, I don't like to play those kind of games.
Right.
You know, and I'm definitely not going to invest my time if there are two sides of you and you're not being real.
Right.
Because I can't trust you.
Okay. Okay. All right. What you call it? Ephraim?
It comes down to the trust part.
Okay.
I'm old enough to understand, you ain't got really a whole bunch of jokes I ain't already heard at this stage of my life. So, you're not surprising me with much of nothing. But, more than the sticks and stones piece of it, it comes down to the trust. Like, okay, and let's say what we can collaborate on is like reputation based. Let's say you got to talk to a lot of social media people who pick up stuff and post a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? Or is it a more quiet deal? I'm gonna meet you. You bring your money. I bring my money. We're gonna meet this guy by the boat, and we're done. That's it depends on that. So if it's just I guess what I'm saying is it got to be trust, because what you're saying could be harmful to the business side of it. But it's not over the fact that you think I'm short and fat. I can get over that. You know what I mean? It's my wife like it. You did. So like I can get past certain things. I'm not as hung up for the need for friends at this age. You get what I'm saying? Like,
gotcha.
But when you 13, 14, a pair of Jordans and a friend, that's your whole world. So my world I got much bigger since then. So I can get past that. But is it messing up the business, or could it mess up the business? Are you saying I'm bad with money? Like what's the thing you saying? We can't be business partners. Then you say I'm bad with money every time we turn around, and then I'm curious why the bank keep turning me down. Like and you was in there half an hour before I got there, so I got to figure that part out.
Right, indeed. Oh, he said Rollins says weigh out the pros and cons. Producer says iPad says that's wisdom. I don't choose to entertain fools. Jeff said Here's your hat. What's your hurry?
Get out of there, Joe.
I guess Rob was asking to have the person cut the checks on time. That matters too. That matters too. That matters too. Oh, and they're just laughing at Sam. All right, Kaneem, if you can, what's your thought on that? How do you look at it? And you've had a lot of dealings. Have you experienced that? And if any of you guys have ever actually experienced that, you know.
Well, Kaneem, do you need to pull over before you answer the question?
Oh no, I'm good. I mean, I hear clearly.
Okay.
The question is about somebody talking behind your back and you don't have a relationship with them. Is that what I?
Yes. No relationship.
And now they want to collaborate with you.
Now they want to collaborate.
And now we well, first of all, it depends on what you can say behind my back.
Okay.
Now, if it's something that's true,
Yeah.
I can't really.
It might not be a lie.
It's true, then I can't really bark about it.
Okay.
If you didn't slander my name and spit on it and all that, then we got to come to a mutual understanding first. Because in my mind, it's already a misunderstanding on site.
I got you.
I'm like, if it didn't got back to me,
right,
and now this is our first interaction.
I got you. You're gonna bring it up.
We gotta address the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
nice. Did you say such and such about me?
Nice.
Well, I meant it this way. Oh, well, explain yourself then. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I would handle it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely would address the situation because I mean, Curvey name mean a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't care where you at, what part of the country, what part of the world.
Right.
You say Curvey, don't spit on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just how I feel about it.
So Jeff says if there's a problem before you ever get off the ground, said no thanks. But I do hear like what Pastor's saying, like, and the unfortunate thing is you're gonna work with folks that may not care for you. They just care for what you have, and the resources that you have. And you kind of maybe have to switch that same mindset too. Like, I can't stand them, but they're connected to some great resources, because they may be like a gatekeeper between you and someone else. You need to shake their hand, and doing this may open it up so they can see my work, and possibly build some level of relationship past whatever nonsense that they said. So I think that's the most challenging part. And I'm glad Sam asked that because that's like the biggest hurdle, or one of the biggest hurdles, in our community, kind of like, and Pastor said it before, especially when it comes to relationship, just get over yourself. Gotta kind of, it's like, can I get over myself? If they said something, and like you said, Kaneem, if it's true, like, all right, I can't argue that. I did say that. Like I am that way. That is my.
Well, I think there's a difference between quoting something that I said,
right,
and making an evaluation about me or my character,
and then spreading that.
Right.
What I'm saying is I'm willing to give people the benefit of the doubt. Right. Maybe you don't really know me.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's an opportunity to get to know me. Like for me, it always goes back to scripture because I got to think about the project. In the book of Psalms, the Lord said, sit here at my right hand until I make your enemy your footstool. Right. So I'm never going to just disregard a person at first offense. You don't really know me. I'm going to give you an opportunity. And if we can't work it out, or if whatever, there's no synergy, then we go our separate ways. But I'm at least going to give you an opportunity.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of that is based on what's at stake. And then, a lot of that is based on what you're trying to preserve. So the hard part about what you're saying is the fact that you don't have a previous history. Almost like somebody said in the comments, to have that issue that early in this relationship. Like 10 years from now, our relationship probably can handle Kaneem saying something about me. But if we just met yesterday, it's like, man, that's a really, what they call them, red flags. It's just a really bad start, right? But it's because you don't have anything built. So it depends on this. It depends on, are you trying to preserve the relationship with that person or potential relationship, or is it about the business? You know what I mean? If this is the first property that I'm trying to get and I really need to get it because it's connected to the rest of the portfolio I'm trying to build.
Right.
Okay, did he say I was fat or did he say I was chubby? You know what I mean? Like, what did he really say? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you cower down. I'm not saying you don't address things, but I guess those are the things I probably speak to myself. I probably wouldn't say it to that person that way. We'll talk it out. But I'm saying to myself, I'll calm myself down, trying to show myself the bigger picture, right? So for the things that set before me, I'll use that to try to endure what I'm going through in the present. So it just depends on what we're trying to preserve. Is me and Pastor said we're gonna be friends, and we're gonna really try to do a friendship, and then we heard something. Well, I really want to try to make this thing work. So let me let that slide to myself. Let me calm, because that's what it be. You calm yourself down. Right. Let me calm down. Let me chill. Right. And that way, because in either way, you're still gonna talk to him. So when I talk to him, and I'm not talking to him heated, like as opposed to y'all, you see people get out the car, what it is, and what I'm saying, all that kind of. I done seen some crazy stuff. You feel me? Right. People. I've seen people address issues, but they have addressed it in a very crazy way. And then when you get out and say something to this guy that you heard said something to you, and you done said in front of all his people, right? What other choice he got but to return the same energy, unless he gonna be left feeling the way. You know what I mean? Right. So I'm calming my own self down. You still gonna address it, but let me calm down so I'm not addressing it just in my feelings. Right. That's good. But yeah, like a lot of relationships die right there. But if it's not worth it, it's not worth it. But
yeah, I hate. Okay. I got to follow up, but let's get some of these comments. AD has a good point. Live with the Joker for a while to get to the next level. He said, I would think if someone would need me in a positive manner for a project, hopefully I have enough sense to straighten out how they feel about me for the greater good. If not, no common sense. Yeah. Jeff says, I'm learning. My instincts are if you talk bad about me and how you want to use me to build something, I'm not feeling it. I need to go to church a few more times. That says, at this stage, we grow in maturity and be vulnerable as we hear what others say about us, definitely. But I'm still working on myself. Yeah, it's challenging to hear something, just kind of be able to look past it or not let it be a hindrance. And I mean, I'm with Kaneem, maybe addressing it. But I will say with addressing with somebody you don't know, to me, my first reaction, their first reaction may be, what? I didn't say that. Yeah. I ain't never said nothing like that. Or maybe they will try to clean up like, I didn't mean it like that, even though they did mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, I just, sometimes your breath just smells bad, so,
so it can hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? Right. Like it might be true. Right. See, that's what I'm saying. You could be wrong and right at the same time. What you said might have been true. Right. But you hurt my feelings with it. And you was wrong for that. Right. You feel like it's the area that I might be sensitive about, or there might be something that I'm trying to work on myself. I might have an error in my ways that I see that I still gotta, address and get to, and it just how people say them jokes is like too soon. Like there's a part of the process where I'm trying to get over a thing, or I'm trying to get a thing fixed. I've identified it, but you commenting on this is too soon. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's yeah.
Because it's so funny that you say that, and I don't know why I thought about like the Will Smith Chris Rock situation, right? And those that had an opinion, could you imagine those in certain positions had opinion like Chris needed that, he deserved that, and talked all that junk, and then was like trying to get Chris to gonna promote a show and get him on, get him in a space, but Chris Rock already know you've been talking junk. Oh, so I deserved it. So I could imagine. He writes, he said, my breath stink. Thank you. But yeah, definitely getting past that, right? And it's kind of part of your ego. It's more of a validated part of your ego, but it is still a part of your ego. It's like trying to get over myself for the greater good. Connecting with this person will help tremendously, and just I'm going back to Sam every meeting, like I still can't stand that dude. I got over it. Go ahead.
This person who you're trying to connect with,
yes.
I mean, like Ephraim said about their history and stuff like that.
Right.
Do you is his connections, are they the same? You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't deal with him,
right,
you may not be able to deal with his connections either. You know what I'm saying?
Possibly.
Yeah.
That's indeed. Go ahead, Pastor.
Some of y'all have collaborated with the devil because it meant getting yourself to the next level.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
I've had to work with people that call me the N-word behind my back.
Yeah.
To get to the status of mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Not everybody you work with is going to be your friend.
Right.
Not everybody you work with is going to be your homie.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. And that's why, and somebody said I had to go back to church a little bit. I need to go back to some more church. Right. That's why it's so important to understand the word of God. Right. Paul had a conversation with, he told the church at Corinth, he said, all things are lawful for me,
right,
but not expedient.
Right.
You're within your rights. If you want to step outside the lines, you can step outside the lines. But please understand that stepping outside the lines could potentially cause you to lose some privileges with me. Right. It may work you may be within your rights to do it, but you may lose some stuff. Right. That's just real. And if you can understand that, it goes back to getting over yourself.
Yeah.
Who am I to never be talked about?
Right. Well, that too.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's always about understanding. If you don't know me, then I'm willing to give you an opportunity to get to know me.
Right. 100%.
Right. And then it's your choice whether you want to walk in your own perception. Right. Or walk in what I have presented to you. It's really just that simple. But that's a place of maturity.
Right. Yeah.
I'm asking the question because I agree with everything Pastor's saying. So let's just get that out the table. All that falling short. We've all worked with some folk, took some stuff, said some stuff to get what we wanted, huh? Mm-hmm. Done told people we loved them. Done told people, I ain't worried about that. We done, turned out a blind eye to a thing.
Right.
All just to work with people, right? To get something going. So 1,000% what Pastor's saying. But Pastor, like later on in life, aren't we working to get to a point where we don't have to cut them deals anymore? Like I feel what you're saying, but at some point, let me clarify. Let me clarify because I'm not talking about shady behavior.
Okay.
Right. I'm not saying, ooh, man, I'm gonna have to use. No, I'm not talking about using someone to get ahead. I'm talking about leveraging resources to accomplish a task. And what I'm saying, like, I'll give an example just in my personal life. I have some responsibility where money plays a role. Mm-hmm. People getting, like in ministry, in church, people carry cards, credentials, and things of that nature. I can give you an example. And, someone pays their money to get something done, but it doesn't show up in the mail. Whatever they paid for didn't show up.
Right.
And they paid their money. Now, I never touched the money. I only process transactions. Right. But it got back to me that I was stealing money. Right. And I'm like, it's $150. Now I'm not downplaying $150 because I'll take $150 all day, every day. You stack up enough of them and I'll have $1 million. Yeah. So I'm not downplaying the money, but what I'm saying is I don't need your $150 like that. Right. I'm not in that place. You got me confused. But I'm saying, but I tried to interact with this individual and he was just like, oh, y'all crooks. Wow. And I'm like, okay, first of all, let's get this situation straight and prayerfully it'll change your mindset. But the individual was convinced
you know, and I'm saying this is me talking to this individual after word got back to me. I've had to call them and say, listen, I didn't.
Right.
Right. Now we still have to work together because you still need what you need.
Right.
Now that happened a year ago.
Wow.
If not over a year ago. And when I tell you every interaction I had with that person, I was met with hostility.
Wow.
All right. I've never done anything to that individual.
Yeah.
Right.
But we have to work together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, just yesterday, I was on a phone call. That individual said to me, your phone called my phone. I'm returning the call. And I'm looking at my phone. I have no history of calling this individual. And I said, oh, that's interesting. My phone doesn't show anything. And his words were, and I quote, that ain't got nothing to do with me. In other words, I don't care what your phone says. You just called me. What do you want?
What?
So I took that as an opportunity. I said, you know what? That means we're meant to pray together.
I'd have been cursing.
I went right into prayer. I just said, let me pray for you real quick. I'm gonna pray with you real quick.
Right.
And as soon as I said, in Jesus' name, amen, he said, let me ask you a question, preacher. And that question, me responding to that question led us into dialogue that lasted almost an hour and a half.
Wow.
By the time we got off the phone, he said, man, I had you all wrong. He said, I have enjoyed it. He said, he said, I would love to be able to talk to you again, man. Can I? I'm like, man, you can call me anytime, bro. Right.
After a year of beef.
Right.
After a year of beef.
Right.
Well, but see, there was never a beef with me because I looked at the individual. I'm like, oh, well, you know, he needs Jesus. Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is my reaction, my response to him created opportunity.
Right.
And now he sees me totally different, unless he was lying, but he stayed. We was on the phone for almost an hour and a half. And by the time we got off the phone, he said, man, this has been a joy. It's been a joy to talk to you. And I would like to talk to you again. And I'll tell you this, at least 5 times during the course of our conversation, he said, I want to let you know that our conversation is being recorded in heaven. And I thought that was,
I know who it is.
I thought that was slick for saying, I'm recording our conversation. You know? But the reality is, when we got off the phone, this individual had a different mindset.
Right. That's good though.
Right.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
So Jeff had, he said, question, who's going to benefit the most if we collaborate? He said, if it's me, I'll tolerate. I don't know. I won't say I wouldn't if I don't benefit the most. I think sometimes, I don't know, just the connection, them having real talk to humble themselves to come back around to me to ask, says something, even if it's just like a need and they don't think I know about what they might have said, maybe. I don't think I would just turn them down because like I don't know, for me, I look at, the opportunities and that's good, Pastor, that you was able to go that far. I probably was going halfway, before I've turned into Kaneen. So, or hung up. I just like, I'm done.
I lost that relationship. That relationship would have been lost.
Yeah. I mean, but what you just said there, Kaneem, like not really trying to lose a relationship, not really trying to, you never know what you might gain. You never know what may happen, and you might find a new ally in this collaboration that now they get to really see who you truly are. Like we said, you are.
I say this all the time, right? Sometimes that individual can become your greatest champion.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
When you get 100%. Them shifted, and sometimes they remain whoever they are, right? Yeah. But don't you be the reason. I'd say this all the time, and people have heard me say this. You are an email, a text, a phone call, a handshake, a conversation away from your next level.
Right.
But it's going to be based on how you conduct yourself, not based on how someone else conducts themselves.
That's good.
I mean, because
you're trying to get to.
Because in that collaboration, are you kind of just what is it, taking it on the chin and just doing what you're doing? You may get a call from somebody like, "Yo, I don't know how you work with such and such, but man, if you could work with him, you could work with me. Like you never know what it may like. I don't even know how you dealt with that dude. Like, but he talks great about you. He don't talk great about nobody. Like
right.
You
right.
might be the list of 2 or 3 people. That's
a badge of honor.
Yeah,
it's a badge of honor, man.
And it's rough though. It's rough. It's hard to your ego. It's like I can't believe I'm dealing with this Negro and he's talked all this mess about me. Especially if I got record, got him on recording, like he was on somebody else's podcast. Yeah, that dude AD, him and brother like some nonsense, like just trashing, and it's just I don't know. Like I try to take Pastor's perspective on it. Like I try to look at it a forward thinking,
But
like,
hear me when I say this, man. It's not my perspective.
Right.
It's godly.
100%.
Right.
100%.
I can't accept ownership of that because it's godly.
Yeah.
That's what the Lord expects of us. That's just real talk. And the one thing that I've learned, I heard somebody say this before, and I've been leveraging it ever since, that God loved me enough to accept me as I was.
Right.
Jacked up, broken, busted, and disgusted. But he loved me too much to keep me that way.
Right.
Right?
That's powerful.
I love you enough to see you and all your faults, but neither one of us can afford for me to encourage that behavior.
Yeah.
And to sit idly by while you do it, especially if it's pointed towards me. We're going to get that fixed, or I'm going to get lost. I'm gonna be away from you. It's really, but I'm gonna try. Because you never know.
Dr. Rollins says, yes, some collaborations are just strategic, not personal. There's more benefit, impact, and working together. So I have to put my personal feelings aside. Indeed.
Yeah, that's where I am with Dr. Rollins is with that statement. Pastor challenged me because there was no benefit to you. I text you. Was that the person? Look at your text. Was that person?
I mean, I know it is too.
There's no benefit to that particular person, but it challenged me to go to a higher level because I'm like what Dr. Rollins saying. I'm trying to because I'm at a stage. I'm still in my earning years. I'm trying to provide. There's some things I still want. So I'm looking at what can benefit me. I don't know how that make me sound, but I'm looking at what can benefit me. But there's no benefit for that relationship. If that's the person I think it is.
I am neither going to confirm nor deny.
I'm gonna tell you, it was that recording. That recording in heaven. That recording in heaven gave it away. Because if it was, I got a call from that person on Friday and was told about myself, and also did not call that person. I promise you, I'm not loved. So that's why I was hoping it was him. But that person is universally understood as off. There's no benefit to him. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but the thing is, did it ever occur to anybody that maybe it's because no one's listening?
Yeah.
No.
Because what I heard, like what we don't realize is a lot of this behavior is born from pain.
Yes. Let's go.
Right? It's brokenness. And if people just write you off as he broke.
Yeah.
She's broke. There's no hope. Yeah. Man, if God looked at me like that with my jacked up behavior.
Yeah.
I like somebody got to hear me, man. Someone has to stop and listen long enough to see where my issue is.
Right. I mean, I think it's the time. Like it's like, man, I got so much going on. I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time.
I'm so glad Jesus wasn't too busy.
I know.
You talking right. You talking right.
Listen,
I hear all your words.
For the most part, I could rock that because like. Dealing with my brothers and, everybody goes through something and, I've pushed myself to try to, like I always say, I don't want nobody to disappear. Like, just talk. Let's have a conversation. If you need a minute, like, though I call myself the pusher, if you don't want to be pushed right now, like, yo, give me a minute. I give you a minute, but don't disappear. So I try to chase those, like, yo, what's up? I ain't heard from you. I heard, we was every day. And that was nothing, so I hear what you're saying, Pastor, but I feel your pain, Ephraim. It's just that.
Yeah, but here, man, I want to cut you off, man. I apologize. Forgive me. Here's the thing. That this is what I want to hammer home, and you really got it. Like the question is ego destroying our community? When a person behaving like that, that's not ego.
Mm-hmm.
That's brokenness.
100%.
Now, hear me when I say this. Don't act like I didn't come from somewhere.
Okay.
This is not how I used to think.
Right. No, I get you. I'm with you.
Right? I mean, there was a time that we wasn't having a conversation. I would check you, and then we come to blows.
Right. Right.
Because you're not going to do this because my ego wouldn't allow me to give somebody that on me. I'm not going to let you be out here talking about me. You're going to say it over there. Say it now in my face. This is where I come from.
Right.
If you're going to tell them, tell me. If you can't tell me, stop telling them, or you're going to have to deal with these hands.
Right.
That's where I come from.
Right.
That's pride. That's ego. Now I come from a different place because I've been transformed. Right? It's still painful. It still makes me angry. I still would rather go back to the old way, you know, but it's not expedient. It's not expedient for my growth.
Yeah.
Right.
100%. Because honestly, I don't know if you've slipped any, in it while you're in this new space. Like if you hung up the phone, like, oh, I know I shouldn't have done that. Like now you're kind of like mad at yourself.
Now it's like, I told y'all it wasn't no good. I told y'all.
Right.
That's like, you watching professional sports. You don't see the first foul. You see the reaction to the foul.
Yes.
Yeah. They always catch the second guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And your reaction makes you look foolish because nobody caught the trigger.
Yes.
Yeah. My sister-in-law like that. She is one of the most like patient people. You know what I'm saying? And she had a rough dad. But he clowns all of them, but she can take it like none of them can. But she has a point with people. If you've been cussed out by my sister-in-law, you have run your course. Like there's nothing else she can see with y'all. There's no future for y'all. So that don't mean that I don't care if you're a customer service rep on the phone or some kind of person that visits or in her circle. If you get cussed out by her, you literally hit her last nerve.
Right.
She's patient.
If I'm done with you, you've earned it.
Yeah, for real.
You've earned it.
For real.
That's real.
All right. So is ego destroying our community? It can affect it. I think a lot of times it just takes patience to really come together. So kind of like all this week, and we're having these collaborative conversations. Like again, I said we are at our 500th. We're in the 500th episode space. Yeah, 500. Really? Yeah.
We ain't gonna get no t-shirts, man. Coffee mug or something. 500. That's flyers.
But
that's the big deal, bro.
The way our checking and savings is hooked up.
Oh, you're right.
I'm gonna get a plate like this. This is the plate. It's giving time. I'm gonna need Pastor. It's giving time on the broadcast. It's giving time.
We need $1 per episode. Everybody start sending it in now.
Listen, it's giving time. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay. BJ Holmes, what's up? Ego also keeps us from being willing to transform or grow into any type of maturity as well as indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Your cup is full. There's no room for growth.
He said no watch. No, that's at least 20,000. We got to do at least
20,000 episodes for the watch
to get the watch. Be gold. It's gonna be gold. We're gonna get you that presidential Rolex.
Okay. But it's no like this is a big, it's the ego for the community, but this is a big relationship piece as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know how many y'all read that Peacemaker's book, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, conflict comes, you know what I'm saying? But like how to handle it in relationship pieces is critical. But when I was looking at it, anytime I hear community, I think about like advancement, development, I think 100%. On those terms. So not to say I've always passed this test, but I can push to get over me and AD's beef so we can put up this new park, this new rec center, because this 2 more months, we're going to break ground. Then I'm not even going to see him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I can do that, but the long-term stuff is harder.
Right.
That's not a Cowboys watch, is it?
It is a Cowboys watch.
Hold on.
Jeff Carlin. I'm telling Jeff Carlin, it's a Timex.
20K for a Timex. Let's do that. Let's see. Oh yeah, but it's good to say, it's good to think, but it's like in the moment, knowing that someone's a certain way towards you or towards anybody that you know. Because sometimes it's like talking junk about me is one thing, but then feels, talking junk about someone I know, in my circle, that then gonna come to you.
Isn't there a difference though, AD? Isn't there a difference? Like, it's one thing to be talking about me as an individual, but it's another thing to talk about something that you think I said or that I did.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
We have to make sure, like, sometimes we get offended because someone criticizes something that we said or did,
right,
and we associate that with them talking about us as an individual. You know what I mean?
Right,
we take it so deep.
Yeah.
Right. And I tell people all the time, like, what I've learned is I don't have to connect my character with an act unless it's a pattern of behavior.
Right.
Break that down in layman's terms for me.
So if I commit an act and you misunderstood it, or it's demeaning to you, whatever the case might be, we can talk about the act. But if I show history where this is how I interact with you, and you've seen me do that as a lifestyle,
right,
that's different. And that's why unforgiveness wreaks so much havoc in our communities, because we don't talk stuff out. Right. We don't talk it out. There's a difference between what I did and who I am.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
But the only way to work all this stuff out is to communicate.
Okay. Yep.
It's one thing to say, "Oh, y'all always stealing." Oh, somebody stole from you, so now everybody's a thief.
Right.
That's not everybody's problem. That's an issue with your perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you've been hurt. So that mindset is born out of pain, out of an offense.
Right.
Not out of a behavioral pattern.
Right.
You're painting with a wide brush. That's a broad stroke. And we make those mistakes. So ego. Oh man, I believe there's a difference between someone who is egotistical and someone who is broken or someone who is angry.
Right.
There's a major difference. So if the question about ego destroying our community, that's a challenge with collaboration, because I look at people as if they're beneath me.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Right. So 100%. If my conversation is, I don't want to work with
anyone beneath
AD because he's not on my level.
Right.
That's ego, man.
Right.
That's ego, because I can learn something from anybody.
Right.
And
that's the biggest thing right there. Like, connecting, and you ain't got as many followers as I got. What benefits they're gonna be to me? Like can we, find a common ground and, just hear me out, or give me a chance, because I can be a new fan. I could be someone that grab my few people and bring them over to you.
When Abraham and Lot separated, right? It wasn't because Abraham and Lot were in conflict. It was all the people underneath them that were in conflict. The leaders were getting along, but the people had a problem. And the leader said, before this becomes an issue, you take your people over there and I'm going to take mine over here. Matter of fact, you choose which, look out, you tell me what direction you headed in, and everything in that direction is yours, and I'll take what's left. Right. And the point of that is there's room at the cross. There's room on social media. There's room in corporate America. There's room in Washington, D.C.
Definitely.
There's room in your church. There's room in your community. There's room for us all to eat, which is what you started with when you talked about Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart has learned that everybody can eat if we keep the right mindset.
That's exactly plenty food.
Right.
Yeah, but that's the
not everybody has the same appetite.
Right.
Our mindset, because it is mindset. Because there's a mindset that says that there isn't enough. So I can't collaborate with you, or I have to cut you off, or whatever the situation is, because I got to get to the only little bit of money that exists in America. You know what I'm saying? Is this $20,000? So there's obviously no space for you. So I got to knock you off, or say that you're not on my level, or whatever. So it's a mindset as well.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So tomorrow we're going to talk about, can you build someone else? Can you lay aside your agenda to build somebody else? All right. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.
Shout out to all the hype men.
Right. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Listen, I appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Like I said, stay connected. Text LW into 84576. All my men that are watching this on replay or listening on the broadcast, we got an accountability call coming up. It's going to be tonight because I said it and it's going to be tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you could make it, definitely look forward to seeing you guys there. I'm going to talk more deeply into Brothers of Legacy and kind of the support we're going to provide my brothers. All right. So
can I say something?
Nope.
You didn't say the God part.
Right, I did. Right. All right, go ahead.
You got too much ego, man.
Yeah. Well, ego destroy the podcast.
Right. Break up.
To all my BOL family, my wife and I spent the entire weekend with no children.
Okay.
No offspring.
Okay.
In the house.
Congratulations.
I don't even we were walking around like, what do we do now?
Caught up on all your shows. Yeah. Quiet.
So you know what I decided to do? I decided to sweep the floor.
Okay.
Because of the number of times I've asked my daughter to sweep the floor and it didn't get swept.
Right.
I'm like, I got to sweep my home floor again.
Right. Wow, that's funny. All right, he's feeling real authoritative. Now, my brother, never. Oh, stood up. Right. That's why I was like, I don't want to hear any details, Pastor.
Yeah, I protected you all from those. But we did that too.
All right.
Close it out.
Know that we love you. God loves you more. Stay safe. We see you in AM. Peace out.